T.B.Photo X1.5 TFX, and welcome back to another video. And this is gonna be titled The Happy T-Max Accident. Okay, a little backstory. Have this ever happened to you? You gotta try T-Max, you gotta try T-Max, you gotta try T-Max, you gotta try T-Max. I mean, everybody has said that I know that does film photography, 35mm, they talk about T-Max and, Kodak T-Max, that it's such a brilliant black and white film, and that I should try it. I've usually, in black and white, I've usually used, as you might know, Ilford and FOMA. But a lot of people say T-Max is really great for black and white. Oh, okay, I'll give it a shot. So I went to a photo store when I was in Uppsala, a store that still had, I don't remember the name of the store, but they had some photo, film still in stock on a shelf, and they had T-Max. So I thought, okay, I'll just grab a roll and put it in this camera, the Nikon F801, and I just did the 36 exposures, I believe it was. And I developed the roll myself. For you guys out there who are into the darkroom still and develop your own film photography, I can just tell you that I did use T-Max, and I use German developer Tetanol Ultrafine for the film developer, Ilford's Ilfostop as the stop bath, and Kodak has their own T-Max fixer that I also use. So that's what I used in the darkroom, and I use probably a standard Patterson tank to develop it. But I did these photos around town. It was the beginning of December 2016. So yeah, I did some, not really street photography, more a little bit of architectural photography and so on. And then around town and a little bit indoors, I thought I'd check out. I used this, the lens I currently have on the camera, the AF Nikkor 35 to 135 f 3.5 to 4.5. So I used that lens on the camera when I was out shooting, and when I scanned, because I thought I'll start with scanning the negatives and see what kind of result I got. And the first time I looked at the results that I got from this T-Max, I was actually taken aback a bit, because I thought, what is this? I mean, I can only, for lack of a better term, I can only explain these photos as low contrast haunting. I mean, they were really haunting images. That's the only way I can describe it, really, because I started to look like, what is this? Is this what all the hype about T-Max is? So I started to, I actually posted my pictures on the Facebook message board for my local photo club, and some of the older club members who are very, have a lot of experience with film photography, they start to ask me, what type of T-Max did I use? And that's when the penny dropped, really, because I had been using the wrong type of T-Max. What people had tried to, what I had done actually was that there are two types of T-Max, the 100 ISO and the 400 ISO. And I had bought the 400 ISO instead of the 100 ISO, because what people have talked to, when I started to listen to what the forum members had said, they said that, well, the 100 T-Max is much finer grain, and apparently it's the superior of the two. So that's when the penny dropped, really. But then when I really started to look at the pictures, and I probably will put some of them in this video as well, when I started to look at them really carefully, I started to see that, well, maybe they were not as vibrant, you know, black and white contrast rich as I would have expected them to be. But what I actually got were these haunting, almost ghostly images, in my opinion. Because I thought about these subjects as I thought about them as being a little bit of a documentary about you know, around the suburbs where I live, and some of the different sections of the suburbs of my hometown. But when I started to look at the negatives, they started to look like, you know, some kind of post-apocalyptic, almost like some of the concrete jungles from Clockwork Orange or the Chernobyl exclusion zone. That's the only thing I can really compare them to, because they really looked haunting and deserted when I looked at them. But so they became a complete 180 to what I expected them to be. But in the immortal words of the happy painter Bob Ross, we don't make mistakes, we only have happy accidents. And this was a bit of a happy accident. Both, I got to know that if I'm gonna use T-Max another time, because I didn't dislike the film, it just wasn't what I was expecting it to become. So the next time I will probably try to get a roll of T-Max 100 ISO instead of the 400 ISO. I got also the tip from a person from the photo club that I might want to push process a little bit to get a little bit more contrast. Apparently that's something you can do with T-Max. But now I'd like to hear from all of you. Have anybody else out there any experience with Kodak T-Max 35, 120 or large format? It doesn't matter, any type of experience, and your input would be really appreciated. And what kind of difference do you see between the 100 and the 400 ISO? And also a little bit in general, what type of black and white do you shoot, or color for that matter? It would be interesting to hear what your opinion is, and also what type of developers you might use if you're in the darkroom. But anyway, this is Tobias Bergstrom from T.B.Photo X1.5 to FX, and I would like to see you guys in the next video, and apparently, as you should say in this YouTube malarkey, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all of that jazz. But anyway, take care for now.